Harris, who is 7th in the NBA, averaging just over 12 rebounds per game. That is Simmons taking it to the cup for two. Modest scoring numbers last night for Ben. NBC Sports Betcast happening right now over on NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus as Richardson gets two. I will readily admit I'm not a bettor, but I watched it on replay because it obviously airs when we're talking on TV at the same time. It is utterly fascinating at all the things that bettors can bet on during.
Bad as that roster was, I wouldn't have kept even 6.
Right.
You had to keep some of them, right?
Josh Richardson also claiming on the play that he was fouled.
4 to 5 year window. That's when they're expecting things to come to fruition for them as an organization.
Joel Embiid.
Good job of staying on the ground by Mike Scott. JJ trying to get him, bait him into that jumping.
Drew Holiday, who was second on the team to Brandon Ingram in scoring, averaging just over 19.
Get the pass for the 3, so he's in a great rebounding position. The ball comes weak side right to him.
Ingram, who will get his, he's 12th in the NBA in scoring, averaging just under 25.
Tell me he's put on 25 pounds. I don't know where. He still looks thin. Came to college at like 185.
And he's listed at around that right now, at about 190.
Ben Simmons, so it really has been a great experience.
In fact, when he was joking around there, we thank you, Serena. That's a nice move by the one-time Sixer, Jahlil Okafor.
About his love for the city and wearing that uniform onto other pastures, certainly not greener pastures. We wish him the best.
Ben Simmons taking a feed from Norvel Pell, playing in his 3rd NBA game. And the Sixers now have hit 7 of their last 9. New Orleans coming in with a record of 6-19. Here is Simmons coming up with a turnover, but Ennis could score the bucket. However, Tobias Harris is able to do so, his first 2. And was acquired by New Orleans. There is Okafor, who's got some stuff, and Pell doesn't want to hear any of it. Simmons running the floor, compliments of Ennis, and it was all started by the premier shot blocking of Norvel Pell.
Second off the floor, first 2.
Oh, that time he knocked it back at Ingram, who was going for the glory. What a play by Pell. Blocks on consecutive possessions. It's Ennis. Buries the 3 and he's fouled. And this place is in an uproar thanks to the...
Give anything up, turn it off.
Okafor slamming for 2. Compliments of Drew Holiday, who, by the way, leads their team in assists.
And dunking it on the defender.
Simmons an opportunity here. He's got the smaller Drew Holiday, and he took advantage, as he should. Holiday at 6 feet now with his former teammate Okafor on his back, and here they go. All hands on deck for New Orleans. You can count it. And Embiid will step to the stripe looking for his 10th point. Pretty much a team that has stayed away from that in Brett Brown's time with the team as Ingram lays his 2. Pelicans come up with the desired result, getting a turnover.
Come to the ball if you're JoJo's 4 teammates.
Similar uniform style that was worn by the Sixers back then for a very brief period of time. As Ball leads it off for Favors, who finishes through the contact. And Derek Favors, now 10 years in the NBA. Norvel Pell had a couple of blocks earlier to get the crowd into it. Both of those blocks leading to offense. Tobias Harris's 2nd bucket.
Well, listen, with the exception of nights off where they gave him because of rest, which everyone else in the league seems to get to, in particular starters. Hart with a 3. Somebody was open. Make life easier for you and your teammates.
Hart throwing it up, and there is Jackson Hayes, and that's what he can do. The 8th pick in last summer's draft by Atlanta, acquired in a trade a couple of weeks later. He's 19 years old. He's been in the regular rotation for most of the season as Simmons hits the plunging Ennis for Bennett.
JJ Redick, you expect a true pro.
Harris working over Ingram. A tough 2 for Harris, who's got 8. Harris. Tobias now into double figures, the 3rd Sixer with 10 or more. He's got 10 by the baseline official, the crew chief, David Guthrie.
One more dribble, and that'll isolate that foul to the officials.
Josh Hart, who's come back into the game. Tobias has himself game-high 14. There's Hayes leaking, And he slams for 2. Jackson Hayes averaging 9, playing about 21 minutes per game. For a couple of teams that are turnover prone. Embiid has the rookie Hayes, and he immediately welcomes him to Philadelphia. Hart working it with Hayes. There's the option in Holiday, who deposits 2 more. 6 in the game. Trying to answer with a 3, cannot. Still time here for New Orleans. The Sixers shooting pretty early there, giving the Pelicans another chance, and they take advantage. Along with Miami, the only remaining NBA team to be unbeaten at home as Embiid gets the Sixers started off right. He's got 15 points. Close to a shot clock violation. Nonetheless, good defense by the Pelicans. Not known for that. Ingram, a pretty move. The hesitation move on Embiid to break a 10-game losing streak. And Simmons picking up where he left off in the first half. Harris for a plunging Simmons, who floats it and gets 2 of his 16. Pell hammering it back after the Matisse Thybulle miss. He leads it. Oh, and quite the swipe by Ennis on the bigger Jahlil Okafor. Simmons. Oh, beautifully done for Pell, who finished the job.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Norvell, top of the box, and catching that.
Okafor off the roll gets the slam that ends a nice little spurt by the Sixers. 10-game losing streak. Last time they won a game, November 21st. Well, Tobias Harris keeps on rolling, my friends. Give him 23. And how much is it incumbent upon his teammates? And I'll ask you the question in a moment. Nicely done by Simmons. A, the steal. B, the pass on a rope to Ennis, who slams for 2. Simmons taking on all comers and adding his way. An aggressive Ben Simmons in this one. Give him Ennis planted for 3. Got it! Nicely executed that time. New Orleans, by the way, has missed 16 of their last 22 from the floor. Richardson coasting in. Josh with 8.
Like, everybody wants to dunk on you, and it sure feels that way, doesn't it? But Norvell does a great job.
Indeed. As a matter of fact, Ingram, mindful of Pell. Harris working his magic. Tobias Harris getting buckets.
Altercation, the confrontation is over. Advantage Tobias.
Ingram connected.
I think it's just something to see.
Good defense by Ingram on Harris, but Tobias Harris flashing all-star form.
Close it out, becoming that guy.
Boy, unfinished business for Redick, but Jahlil Okafor had his back. He's got 9 off the bench.
Into buckets down the other end, so they're really each one of them a 4-point play.
Harris in rhythm for 2. 29 points for Tobias Harris. And just manage the game from this point forward.
Gotta know that someone's looking at you when the pass is being made.
And the desired effect, Joel Embiid, 2 of his 19. And the Sixer lead now at 9. Ingram. And he's right on his average at 25 a game. And I think now, Holiday giving it up. There's Hayes, and he got 2 thanks to Drew Holiday. Through the crowd here, at least those who remain. Many have left. Pestering Ingram, who glides in and gets 2. And now it is a 76ers will remain unbeaten at home, my friends. 14-0 here at Wells Fargo Center. At last look, Miami was losing to the Lakers.